All right, welcome back to the Real Estate Huddle with the Dreamsmith team. This is episode number 8.
That's it.
I thought we'd go a little, got a phone call, sorry, a little lighter. So thought we'd spend some time sharing some war stories.
Story time.
That'll at least make us laugh. Maybe it'll make some other people laugh.
There's some funny ones. I have funny
You've
ones.
got all
I've
the
got
funny
depressing
ones, so we should just
I have a whole array of emotions as far as my
Start
stories
us
go.
out.
But you want me to start?
Sure.
We'll start off with a funny one because the funny one will make it light and breezy for now. But it was like I think it might have been my first year in real estate, and had these buyers, and they wanted to see this house really bad. For some reason, couldn't get a showing for a little while. They kept declining it, so we finally got a time. So that was a whole thing. And then we're walking up, and this is where I learned to never just walk in without making some kind of noise. So every time I walk into a house now, because of this experience alone, unlock the door, knock, and I say, hello. Like I scream it, like make sure everybody can hear me. And the reason is because we went into this house, we walk in, and I hear water running, like a shower running. I was like, that's odd. And the weird thing about this house was like, it was kind of vacant. Like it was one of those homes, like if you've been into a vacant house, but they're still living in it, like with their bed, like, and that's it. Have you guys been
Half a closet?
Yeah. Have you shown a house like that?
Yeah.
This was that type of house. So I'm like, okay, maybe someone was testing water pressure and forgot to turn it off. And so luckily I didn't like run up in there, because sooner than I could walk up there, a lady runs out in a towel, and she's like, what are you doing in my house? It's like, hi, I have a showing. So
I thought I'd leave your house.
she wasn't very happy. And so I made a call to the agent saying, hey, did you notify this person of that showing? Or he's like, they should have, because the showing service, we know showing time and Broker Bay, they notify everybody. She forgot. Because I had all my stuff. I had all the instructions to get in, and we just walk in, and you could tell my buyers were kind of like reserved people. And so they were pretty mortified that they walked in on somebody in the shower.
No. Well, once you get outside, then you laugh.
I did. I was like, that's pretty funny. They're like, yeah. So it's one that I'll remember.
I had a story where I ran into someone showering. That's pretty bad. That's terrifying. I have a story where I had a showing with a buyer who was an out-of-state buyer. First day I met him, I was super excited. First house we saw together. Keep in mind, there's sort of a relationship there because we've decided to work with each other, but we haven't really spent much time looking at houses. So we go to the first one, and similar to you, except this one, you know how in open houses they keep the door wide open for people to just walk on in. I wasn't aware of any open houses, but it happens sometimes, and it looked like there's multiple showings, because sometimes they do overlap showings, multiple groups looking at it at the same time. So I thought maybe it was that, and the agent just left the door open. And so we walk in, and we got pretty far into the home, and the seller, which at the time I didn't know was the seller, looks at me and goes, what are you doing in my home? And I go, we have a showing. And she's like, no, you don't. And I pull it up, and I go, yes, we do. Someone approved it. It looked like the agent had approved the showing for her client and just didn't tell them.
Oh, I think we were going to say it.
That's a fun conversation later.
Yeah. And so we just walked in, and that was a very uncomfortable situation. But yeah, my buyers, I'm sure, were at that day wondering what kind of agent they had just signed up to work for or work with. But yeah.
God.
Wasn't my fault.
Man, the showing service.
I don't mean to gross anyone out, but like a lot of the times we're working with people we know very well, and that's a different type of way to buy a house. Sometimes you're working with people you're getting to know, but you don't know them really well, and you're out there looking at a lot of homes. And I have a conversation like, look, we're going to see 9 homes today. Like if after a minute you don't want to look, that's great. We got lots of other things we can talk about, etc. And then have this other thing, like sometimes you just got to envision past the stuff that's in a house, because a lot of times it's not vacant. And we walked into this house, and it was in kind of a nice little area we were interested in. And you get within 20 feet of the house, and it just stinks. And you like walk up to the front door, and there's this like little area with like AstroTurf, and they must have the biggest frickin' dogs. And there's just piles of dog. It was just horrific. We walked in the house. It smelled awful, and it was one of those times. We were in that house for 11 seconds tops.
I had a house like that once. Probably not that bad, but
it was pretty bad. I could see the positive in anything, but I couldn't in this.
Oh man, what do you got, Kim? One up that one.
I know. I'm trying to remember some good
smelly
stories.
stuff and naked people. What do you got?
Do you have one, Kristen?
Well, I was thinking of one on behalf of someone who isn't here, but I'll tell it for them. It was the day of closing, and you have to have your ID. Their ID was expired. And so...
Oh, no way. Did they have to go to the DMV?
And so the agent went to the DMV with the buyer and got them and wanted the deal, went to the DMV, they got the ID, they came back to the closing table, closed. Above and beyond service here with the Dreams
Props to
team.
DMV, because that line is long.
I was going to say, was it 5 hours later?
Yeah.
Props to the agent for sitting there for 5 hours as
way
they
to go,
get
agent.
there.
We all know who you are, agent.
Right.
Way
we
to go,
appreciate
buddy.
you.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Landon.
Oh, Landon
That
with
was
that?
Landon.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of like his first deals when he was a youngin'.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that story.
I had an inspection once. We were like, he was gearing up to finish, and he was checking. I think he was checking water pressure and stuff, and he was going through all the bathrooms. And next thing I know, he's like, "Hey, Spence, I need your help real fast," because he didn't want to like notify he didn't want to scare anybody. He was going to tell them that he found what he found, but he didn't want them to come in and freak out. So he's like, "Hey, come here real fast. I need your help." So I go into the bathroom, and there's this huge snake coiled up right next to the toilet in the bathroom. So he's like, "I hate snakes." I'm like, "Well," what do you want me to do with this?
I don't think I hate snakes. I'm just terrified of snakes.
He didn't want to touch it. So I was like, okay. So I grabbed a box. I can't remember where I found this box. And it was just a garter snake. It wasn't anything like crazy. So yeah, I mean, this is how good of an agent I am. I took the snake and I put it in the box.
I would have run out of there.
Oh yeah, I mean,
grab
I'm a
the
really good agent. So I did that for
I guess I'm a really bad agent. I would run. I would have pushed my client to the snake and run.
I even have a picture of it in my phone. He's all coiled up.
I would very thoughtfully say, "I'm sorry, I cannot be of help," but I cannot be of help when there's a snake involved.
I just took it. I can't remember where I took it out, but I just said "be free" and tossed it out, and that was it. So.
Just kidding. I would not push my client. Just clarifying that as far as the snake.
So don't use Kim.
That's why.
That's the moral of this story.
I think we're the majority.
The majority would push the person nearest to them to say.
No, the majority would be terrified of the snake.
No, I was like, we need to get through this inspection. Because there were a couple things on that inspection where I was like, all right, let's not make this worse with a snake. So it's like, hey guys, just so you know, no big deal, but we found a snake in the bathroom. It's gone, but everything's fine. And they're like, You found a snake in the bathroom? I was like, yes, we did. They closed on the house. It was good. So everything worked out.
Hopefully no snakes since that occurrence.
No snakes since that occurrance. Crazy dogs, crazy cats, but nothing like that.
As a new agent, I think this was like one of the first deals ever. I decided to work with a renter just to try it out since I was new, just a learning curve there. And so, I was talking to this renter and I was like, what are you looking for? And he kind of described, I want this many bedrooms, bath, area, blah, blah, blah. And then I want an unfinished basement. I'm like, okay. And I was like, why do you want an unfinished basement? And I kind of realized he was tiptoeing around why he wanted an unfinished basement.
Should we all guess?
So naturally, I got more curious and just kept pushing the issue of why. And because it was out of budget, but then also, why are you so insistent on it? And he goes, for my plants. And I'm like, okay.
What type of
Sir,
plants?
what kind of plants are we talking about here? And he goes, marijuana. I was like, okay.
Well, all right.
Immediately call Landon, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Did not think my first renter, the first couple months of the business, was going to
A renter? Yeah, I don't know.
Right,
I
that's
don't know.
ballsy.
Just so you guys know,
Yeah, it is.
that's a huge liability for the homeowner because it's still
I don't
federally
think
illegal.
anyone would knowingly let someone.
Right.
I can't believe he told you that.
Yeah, well, he didn't. He was tiptoeing around it, and I wouldn't drop it, and so I just had a feeling that something was up.
Way to
and I
press that
kept
one. Good job.
asking and
And
asking
that's
and
why you
asking
should
them.
use Kim to rent.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Don't call me to rent. I don't work with renters anymore.
Yeah,
after
you can
that.
work with the renting
Yeah.
community. That's good. Man, I've been pretty fortunate enough not to have like a ton of crazy experiences. My own house was a fun experience, but do you have another one?
Not as good as yours.
Yeah, so I can, do you have one, Kristen? I can tell mine if you don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's just a funny one. It's a cute one too because it involves my kiddos. But so a couple years ago, we were in the process of starting our search, and it's like right as the COVID market started to it was starting to take off. Home prices were increasing like crazy, and Jay and I were like, "There's no way that we're going to be able to get what we want." But we came. Well, to precurse all this, so we're a pretty religious family, and we say prayers with our kids every night before they go to bed and all this kind of stuff. And Hallie, in one of her prayers, she's like, please bless us to find a house, a little pink house. And I was like, that's great.
I've heard parts of the story, but I haven't heard this. This is getting better.
So we were living with my parents at the time, and we... this lady actually in our church congregation, I found out that she was moving, and she was literally in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And so I approached her. I was like, hey, are you wanting to sell? And we got to the agreement of yeah, we'll buy your house if you can do it for this price. And turns out she was a hoarder. I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but she was a hoarder, not a dirty one, not like mice and bugs everywhere, but she loved... So if you had a Hobby Lobby and multiplied that by 2, that was about what she had in her house. It was like a Hobby Lobby store, just full of crafts, art supplies, you name it. It was in there with that type of stuff. But I'm going through this whole process, and I'm leaving the house one of these days. And Jay and I are leaving the house as we just got the contract signed by Judy because I was just helping her because I was licensed. I was like, look, we'll do this. Don't get an agent. We'll do this. We'll help you move out. We'll do everything to make this super easy because she was elderly and she had a ton of crap. So we made that part of the deal. We get it signed. We're super happy as we're walking out the house. Jay and I never realized it at first because we were so excited to just get this type of home and the size and the layout we really liked. But we're walking away, and I'm like, I turn around and I look at the house. I'm like, man, it's pink. This house is pink. It's this salmon pink color. And Jay's like, that's hilarious because Hallie's been praying for a little pink house for a
Still
year.
pink, though, right?
Just gave me chills.
Yeah, so it was cool, and the house has been a huge answer to prayers. We're growing our family in it and stuff, but it's still pink. We're planning to paint it, but we're gonna trace Hallie's hand outline in the backyard on the back of the house, and we're gonna keep it pink as long as we can. So
That's
Keep more hand
perfect.
pink.
yeah, what was that?
good.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep it. We're gonna leave part of Hallie's pink house there, but so yeah, that's my. I had a funny one, had a scary one, and that's my warm and fuzzy one. So
That's cute.
I love that story.
that about wraps up my career. So that's what it's been.
Quick story.
Yeah.
The 3 houses.
Yeah, the 3 houses.
I
That's
think
it.
So that exciting story, but it's like that coming of age. Everyone has to do it. Like the first house where you bail after the inspection, where, I'm there with the inspector and it's just everything out of his mouth, everything out
Bad
of
news, yeah.
And my buyer
inspections
comes
suck.
towards the end and we get this thing the next day and like no conversation. It's like, can I get out? I think we can get out. Let's get out. Anyway, he ended up in a great home elsewhere, sold his house for a great price, but first time I'd left after an inspection and it was liberating.
Yeah, it's not, I mean,
Sometimes you just cannot see the path through the weeds.
oh yeah. That's, those inspections are rough. I get pretty nervous when, and this is no fault of the inspectors, this is their job, but your buyers are there and the inspector's like, all right, I'm finished. And he's like, let me tell you about what I found. I'm like, okay, here we go. It's just like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, so that's pretty normal, right? Like this is pretty good, right? Because they don't know.
Doesn't
Like
sound
they're
right,
they're all
That's
like,
a good learning curve. You
oh
gotta take your
man,
clients
you have
through.
to.
I always do that. Yep. I agree.
Luckily, our inspectors are pretty good. Like, hey, this is pretty normal, but just so you know, like keep an eye on it, blah blah blah. And they soften the blow quite a bit. But I've had experiences where like first time home buyers or just buyers from out of state, they're like, wait, what? The concrete's cracked? Like what? It's like, no, that's just Colorado.
Yeah.
That's pretty normal. And they just don't. They're just
Or they receive
wide-eyed and
the report and they're like, why is it 40 pages? And it's like, oh, no, that's good.
40 pages is great. Try 70 to 105. Like that's a lot. So, any other stories?
I have a good one, door knocking. So, again, newer agent. I had gone around in Englewood and knocked a couple doors, and I was super stoked because this one seller answered the door and happened to want to sell her home. And so I was like, yeah, score. Love door knocking. Haven't done it since. But but I got excited because not only was she wanting to sell, she even requested or had asked for a CMA report from me. So she was basically doing my pitch for me. And so I was all excited, run back to the office, do the CMA, go back to present it to her. She didn't seem to agree with me on what I thought the value of her home was. And then a couple days went by and, we stayed in contact, and she's like, I have one other agent I'm talking to. I'm going to go with whichever agent tells me they can list my home for the most money. Go, all right, well, I'm going to tell you I'm sticking to the value I originally told you, and that agent's going to say a different number, and it's not going to sell for that amount. I stalked that house for months.
What did it sell for?
For the amount I said.
Exactly?
For the exact
Did you call
dollar
her back?
amount. I did not call her back, but man, you were talking about it today still. It feels like yesterday. But yeah, so it sold.
Stick to your guns.
It stuck to my guns. I said, no, they're just going to tell you what you're going to want to hear, and it's going to sit for a while. And it did. Exactly what I said happened. And then there's another story with the same person, with different person. And, same thing, wanted me to tell him what I thought the value was. I had gone back because she said she was doing updates to the home, which is perfect. We always tell sellers, make updates. It's going to help you in the long run. Smart updates. And so she wanted me to go back to the property to see what kind of updates, paint, flooring, all that good stuff she had done. While I'm there, these movers bringing in furniture into the home. And I'm like, why are they bringing, this looks like staging furniture. What is this? This seller had been stringing me along the entire time because they were an out-of-state seller to just check what the agent that they had hired was doing. And was just asking me, do you think it could sell for this amount? Send me comps. Sent her comps. Yeah, I do think it could sell.
You were the backup?
I was the backup. You want to go look at the
They
renovation?
cheated on you.
Cheated on me, had already signed another agent, and just having me check everything.
I've had
for
that
me.
happen once.
Complete
Learned my
waste
lesson.
of my time.
The one and only time.
Yeah, I remember calling the seller and, calmly, respectfully, as always. I'm just like, hey, yeah, I went to go look at the updates. The updates look great. while I was there, they were moving in staging furniture, though, from another agent. So I'm just kind of curious what's going on. You want to give me a call back? Never called me back.
That reminds me of something we just had recently. We get an email lead. And all I remember, hindsight being 2020, it was written kind of, the English was chunky and awkward. But we have a listing, it's a unbuilt property, undeveloped entirely, nothing there, but we want to sell it, we're ready to sell it. So Len and I did a full valuation, we presented it, back and forth, great. We did a listing agreement, got it signed, full rate, etc. And it took us about 3 days to realize that some folks in some foreign country had done this now 3 times. I spoke to the last agent, and I don't know what the end game is, how you intend to get through a transaction when you don't actually own the property. But I felt like that was my coming of age as a real estate agent. I got punked. Like, you're looking for cameras. Like,
Hey, I've got one more
I
story.
laugh now. It wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
I don't think Landon is still not laughing.
Hindsight, right? Okay, one last story. So this one's more geared towards this will be funny for realtors and stuff. But one of my first listings that Landon signed me on to, we were under contract, and the lender orders the appraisal, so we meet the appraiser there, and I have all my comps ready and everything. And for all of you real estate agents and realtors out there, this guy was red flag right out of the car. So I get there early, as usual, and I'm waiting. He shows up 5 minutes late, and I get out of my car with my comparables that we've got, which were all accurate, by the way. Let me make that very clear. We did a good job on those. He gets out of the car, doesn't even say a word to me, doesn't say hello, doesn't say anything. He's like, hey, just so you know, this isn't going to appraise very well.
Before even seeing that.
As he's taking his dip out of his lip and throwing it on the ground, pulling out his can and putting a huge other one in there, about to walk into my seller's house. I'm like, well, what makes you say that? Why would you say that right off the bat like that? And he's like, well, this is not going to hold up. The comps in this do not hold this pricing. I was like, I would say otherwise. Here's our comps. He's like, this is wrong. That's terrible. This isn't going to work. Blah, blah, blah. He's marking up my sheet. And so he's like, look, I'll give you the option to, hire somebody different. If you don't want me to do this, I was like, I don't want you to do this. Give me a second. So I called Lane. I was like, this guy is, he right off the bat, he said this isn't going to appraise. And Lane's like, are you kidding me? So we called the buyer's agent. We're like, hey, nobody wants this. Your buyers aren't going to want this. Our sellers aren't going to want this. This isn't going to work for anybody. And this guy was in a raggedy, did not look professional at all. Came out, like I said, with a huge dip in his lip, which it's fine. As long as you spit it out before you go into a house, but don't re-dip and start walking towards my seller's house. It's come on, man. And so it was a funny event. So we ended up, and this was funny as we told our sellers, hey, we're going to have to reschedule this. He's saying it's not going to appraise, and they start freaking out. I'm like, we're going to be fine. And so the buyer's agent was awesome. She's like, yep, I'll tell the lender to order a new one. And so we meet the new appraiser out there. They're like, this looks really good. And it appraised for $5,000 more than what we were listing it. So it was this guy, I don't know if he was having a bad day. I don't know if he just didn't want to do the job. But I was like, man, this guy is just a knucklehead. And he just almost ruined it for seller and buyer because he was just being lazy about it. So funny story. You just run into a bunch of different people. I don't hold any anger towards them. It was just kind of one of those funny.
You know, a lot of great appraisers too.
I wish,
Pretty smart.
I wish
scientific
Landon
guys.
was here to tell his appraisal story. I can't say because I don't want to misspeak, but I know one part of it is as soon as the appraiser got there, Landon just opened the door. Hey, come on, welcome, come on in. And he's like, can you please, this is a multi-million-dollar home, right? And the sellers were very meticulous, as they should be, as all sellers should be, about wanting people to take off their shoes. It was snowing, keep it clean. And Landon asked the appraiser, "Can you please take off your shoes?" And she refused, had an attitude. Just long story short, they got into a similar situation about the comps, the market, how it was going to crash, which hasn't happened a year later.
Doesn't seem like it's gonna.
Yeah, it's just crazy personality, no respect for the seller, the home, none of that. And eventually, same thing, it didn't really work out.
Guys, if you walk through snow or rain or whatever, take off your shoes. Come on.
For a friend, for a family member, for a stranger.
For a stranger, come on. Multi-million dollar home.
I take shoes off.
Come
in my own
on.
house.
Yeah, for yourself.
Well, sorry to end it on the angry note. Take us out, Chad.
I think that's all we got. I'm sorry I didn't have more funny stories to add, but
We'll have more story times. Oh, yeah. Well, I can feel this year's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll catch you guys on the next one.
all right, signing off. Thanks for watching.